Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today I want to talk about Super Mario 3D All-Stars and just how underwhelming this package is. They didn't lie on the package. It says 3D All-Stars. These are free games that you may or may not enjoy. So in that terms of things, it is a collection of 3D games. However, for a game that has been released for Mario's 35th anniversary, this is quite underwhelming and quite lackluster and generally quite disappointing, and I'm just going to go over my thoughts on it now today. I kind of decided to wait because I've been really getting into playing Super Mario Galaxy again. I did play 64 and I have played a bit of Sunshine, but mostly Galaxy. So I'm going to go over and give my thoughts on each individual game in this package, and then just sort of like how I feel about the whole thing at the end. So Mario 64, as you guys probably at this point really well know, I don't enjoy the game. Replaying it, my mind doesn't change, so I put about an hour into it. I think the game needs way more love than what the minor things they did for this. This game needs a full-on remaster or a full-on remake. The controls absolutely suck in this game. People that defend this game really need to take a good hard look, because things like Galaxy 1 and 2, 3D World, Odyssey as well, they just feel like the controls feel much tighter. Like, you know, pushing the analog stick in directions, Mario runs in those directions. He doesn't. Sometimes in 64, he doesn't always. You have to run around these big circles to turn around and stuff. The controls just suck. The camera is bloody awful in 64 as well, and it's a game that desperately needs a lot of love. Like, this could be a really good game if they went back and just changed some things up and did like some actual good work with it. But apart from it looking a bit like cleaner, the game just to me just isn't that fun. I just don't like the level design. I don't like most of the music. I just struggle to like get interested in the game. And the things that they did change like are so minor that, you know, it's unfortunately it's just not a good game. Like, I would rather they put did stuff with the DS version, added all the extra content, and this could have been really cool. Like 2 different files. You can play the original or you can play the DS version. As for Sunshine, Sunshine handles a bit better. The only problem with Sunshine is Mario seems very slippery, or at least a lot of the objects you're on feel quite like the edges are quite weird. Like, it's very easy to fall off stuff in this game. It has some fun ideas. I hate the music in Sunshine. Some fun ideas, but there are some issues with the level design in that game, and having there's one where you have to climb up some a scaffolding essentially, and that is an absolute nightmare to do when the scaffolding and the way that Mario handles in that game, they don't really complement each other, and then they decide to place down these enemy types that are incredibly frustrating. But a lot of the level design is very, I don't know, it's very average. Apart from the bonus games where you lose Flood, they're actually, even though they are quite tough, I always find them far more fun than the actual levels. I think Sunshine is a better game than 64 in a lot of ways. I think it handles marginally better, but there are definitely issues with level design that really kind of mar the game down to being as good. And from memory, like, again, I put a bit more time into that one, I've had a bit more fun with it, but there are definitely stages where I'm like, oof, you know, it's just not that endurable to play. Flood itself is kind of fun. They changed up the controls as well, the way that Flood handles. There's no way to switch them, which is kind of odd. So it's a bit better. The game looks very vibrant. This is in 16:9. And overall, like, I do need to put more time into it again. But I mean, if you like Sunshine, I think this is one of the better ways to play it, apart from that control niggle. But honestly, for this package, the best one out of the 3 is Galaxy. This is the first time I've replayed Galaxy since I had it on the Wii. I really liked it when it first came out. And replaying it, I'm having a blast with it. There are some issues I have with the game still. One of them seems to be tied to this version of the game. I don't remember this happening in the Wii version, but sometimes I'll hit a direction and Mario will just kind of run around in a circle. I don't know if that's because gravity is changing, but then I have to like stop and redo the direction. I don't know if anyone else has had that. I don't remember that being in the original, but it was a long time since I played it, so who knows. And the other issue I had with the game, trying to think what it was now. There was that one. That's weird. I mean, I'll come back to it if I remember it, but like that was the main issue with the controls, running around in circles for some reason. Oh yeah, and sort of like the momentum when jumping. Like in this game, when you long jump, when you hit the ground, your momentum stops. When you jump and you're not at full speed, it's really hard to climb things. Like, you really need to be running at full speed and then doing a jump, triple jump, all that. Because sometimes you'll be upside down on a planet trying to jump on something, and it's just really hard to judge because unless you're running at full speed, he doesn't jump that high or that far, so that can be a bit weird. And I think that's kind of the nature of Galaxy, though. It's a very strange game, getting reused to a lot of the environments. But overall, out of all 3 games, it is probably the one with the best level design, the best camera, the best controls. Everything about it still holds up pretty well. I have my issues with it, like I've just gone over. But for me, I feel like this collection of games, I'm paying, what, £40, £50 for essentially a very nice looking version and fairly good control version of Galaxy. I don't think 64 is... Everyone bigs up 64 being this groundbreaking game, and yes, it was at the time. But 64, out of all the 3D Mario games, is the one that needs the most love. It needs a remaster or it needs a remake. As it needs to look better, and more importantly, the look isn't so much an issue, it's the controls and the camera. If you fix those 2 things, then the game itself would just be a lot more enjoyable to play. As for Sunshine, it has similar issues, where the level design isn't always amazing, the controls are quite slippery, even if they are a bit better than with 64, because you have the ability to hover, which definitely helps. But that game still has some issues, but, you know, I'm not expecting that one to be redone anytime soon. And then you've got Galaxy, which seems for the most part, it's like, you know, a pretty solid game, and it's fun. For me personally, I think Nintendo really got it right with 3D Mario games when they released Galaxy. Say what you want about 64 being groundbreaking, compared to Mario Bros. 1, 2, 3, and World, which, you know, okay, this is comparing 2D to 3D. Like, their 3D attempts, like Sunshine was just a bit quirky, but Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2, 3D World, Odyssey, like, they all feel like really solid 3D games. The cameras are far better in those games as well, and that's always been a big problem with 3D platformers. But I can't sit here and recommend 64 to anybody. Like, I just don't think it holds up that well at all. And I see a lot of people being like absolute staunch defenders of the game, but I'm just like, look at the game. Look at the issues this game has. Like, if it gets a remaster or remake or some significant upgrades, that game could be good. You know, it's not for me, and I'm not taking away the fact that other people have enjoyment with it, but like defending it and saying it's like the best 3D Mario game is just it's outrageous. It's crazy. So, what about the package then? You know, this is 3 games. Well, I can say to you right now, this is a good package if you want to play those games. This is aimed at people that probably have never played these games, but for me, this is a complete waste of money. There is such minimal effort put into this in terms of like extra content or these games having significant upgrades that, quite frankly, it just doesn't feel like it's like I said, it's very underwhelming. Yeah, you can listen to the music, but they could have done so much with this. Like, if the games were in the state they were in, but then they had like a bonus gallery of artwork for each game, and maybe you've got the music side of it, and then maybe they added either some like an interview or some behind the scenes stuff, you know, or like some demos of some of the music, or like, you know, just extra content in that side of things. It doesn't have to be the change of the games. Then it would feel like an anniversary celebration. As it stands, it doesn't even feel like a celebration. It feels like drag and drops of these 3 games, and they charge a lot for it, and they're only charging it for so long, which is ridiculous, but hey, you know, that's for another day. But I can't in good conscience recommend this to anybody. The only people I can recommend this to is the people that have not played any of these games, and even then, I'm not sure, like, if you can pick up, I mean, Sunshine's always hard to get hold of, right, so that being released is definitely a bonus. Galaxy, I'm not sure how hard or easy it is to get hold of, so I guess in that sense, if you wanted these games, that's fine. But you're literally paying for these 3 games and nothing more. Like, the tiniest of tweaks, and oh, here's the ability to listen to the music, which normally I'd be totally fine with, but I don't like the soundtracks for 2 of these games. Galaxy's soundtrack is fantastic. I left it, you know, a week and a bit before I even made this video, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't just shitting all over this. I wanted to actually play it, and yes, I've had a lot of fun replaying Galaxy. But if you take these games individual, now I can play Galaxy on my Wii. I don't need those upgrades, you know. I mean, the pointer controls on the Wii are still better than the gyro controls in this. They work, and they're good, but honestly, like, to me, I feel like I'm paying 50 quid or $49.99, however much money it was what I bought it for, between 40 and 50, on a collection of games only one of them is actually worth my time. I wouldn't recommend 64 to anyone. Sunshine is kind of like you have to play it to see how you like it, and then Galaxy is pretty solid, and it does a lot of things that were a first. Doing the whole planet shooting to shooting is awesome, but it's not without its issues. And overall, I am very disappointed with this. Like for Nintendo's big mascot, it's really cool the stuff they're doing outside of the games. You know, I know 3D World's coming next year with new content, but the little Game & Watch and like the pin badges in the clothing line and all this other stuff they're doing, like it's really cool that they're celebrating it all. But I kind of wish with this 3D All Stars that they'd actually gone way further with it. I would have preferred to like get this next year, and they've actually made significant improvements to a lot of the things, or given more options, at least make the quality of life changes to all these games. And it doesn't even feel like they've done that, which is just makes it sad. Like, this is not a good collection of games if you take it like on a technical level and improvements. It's not at all, and that's sad. And I don't want Nintendo to just think this is okay. Like, I wouldn't have bought this if I wasn't going to cover it for this channel. Like, I've read reviews and seen what people have say, and they're like, oh, you know, if you rate it on the games, like, the games are really good. But I'm like, it's not about rating it on the games. It's about rating this as a package. Like, you know, some people are going to say it's good value. I'm going to say it's not, because at least one of those games needs a lot more love. So yeah, if you've never played these games before, maybe you're the target audience. For someone like me who has interest in playing 2 of the 3, I mean, Sunshine I'm definitely not going to complete. I'm probably going to get quite far in it. Galaxy I'm quite close to completing, and you know, I've had my fun with it. But then after that, I'm like, I'm not going to touch 64 again, except for if I do videos on it. I just don't have any interest in playing that game. So yeah, I would say if you are somebody out there who's never played any of these games, this is targeted to you. There's a way for you to play these games on a modern system on the Switch. If you're a returning person, returning customer who has played these games, all I'm going to say is this is not worth your time. Maybe you think it's good value, but unless you want to replay Galaxy, like, I don't know if it's worth picking up for just that. I definitely don't think it is. And I know it sounds like I'm being super harsh. I'm a die-hard Mario fan. I love 1, 2, 3, World, Galaxy, Galaxy 2, 3D World, 3D Land, the Land games. You know, like Odyssey. Like, I love Mario games because Mario platformers always play how I want them to play. It's just 64 was never. I never played it when it first came out, which I can admit. And the amount of times I have played it at this point, I don't enjoy it. I think the level design is bad. I think the game handles poorly. It's just not fun. It's not like Odyssey where I was like, I can't put this down, or 3D World where I was like, I can't put this down. And even the classic 2D ones where I'm like, I'll pick this up and play this for a couple hours and just blitz my way through it and have a good blast with it. 64 is a slog to me, and I don't like it at all. Sunshine I need to play more of to really. I know I enjoyed it to a point, but I do think Nintendo really hit their stride with Galaxy onwards. And yeah, so just to kind of finish off my point here about this is that if you've never played these games, then yes, this is probably worth picking up. If you have played these games and you're returning, this is probably not worth it. Unless you want it as a collector's item, then sure, go ahead. But honestly, this is one of the most disappointing collections I've ever seen, with the most minimal effort it feels. And unless we're going to get some crazy updates and patches and stuff to add things in, this is, yeah, stay away. Like, get it, if it ever goes on sale, get it. But honestly, right now, this is not worth your time and money. Wait for 3D World to come back out with the extra content. That is a solid game. So yeah, sorry it's taken us so long to get this video out, but honestly, like, I just needed time with the game. So thank you very much for listening and watching. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more content like this, then obviously hit subscribe. Facebook and Twitter links down below if you want to get involved over there. And until next video, I will see you then.